just then was Barefaced with Taste My Sad, and up first was Warm Water Snake Hips. Apparently Tom listened to that song 700 days in a row.
I did. It's the best song ever. And there was a Triple J like a version by Emma Louise called Boy, and that it's on YouTube. Go and check it out if you will. But sort of that, Snake Hips, Flume, like that just dominated my playlist for like 2 years.
Hell yeah. What? No, I'll get into it later. I've written down here, Draft No Good, moved into Abbett Street together. That were all my notes because we were so locked into those tracks. Moving into Abbett Street together, what was that like?
It's pretty exciting. It's the first time I actually, apart from living with Jared's parents.
In the palace, yeah.
Yeah, that I got to live with, a couple of mates, Finn Smith being the other. Before that, it was my brother. Actually, Darcy Reid, I got to give him credit. Lived with him for a little bit. Baddest.
The baddest. We had some funny times at that house.
Yeah.
At Fox Street.
Yeah. So yeah, we moved into Abbott Street. We had the Colosseum out the back there. We got
what's that?
So the Colosseum, we had this 2-car garage that we just filled on the outskirt, on the outer of it with just roadside collection lounges, and it was some of the sights you'd have.
Yeah. And they would have been so gross.
Oh, so chat.
So gross. Spider webs everywhere. And we'd have like 20 people come back for kick-ons at all hours and play this like volleyball game where you just like sort of smack this like half chewed up soccer ball around and tried to keep it up, and then whoever would let it touch the ground had to cop some completely outrageous and unfair punishment that hurt way too much. But it was just the best time ever.
Yeah, and no complaints from neighbours really, which is unbelievable.
I don't know how you've done this.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how I remember it. I remember that old bloke out the back used to slay us.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was he used to get right into us, and he used to complain a lot. However, now that we're a bit older, it's like that was so fair enough.
Yeah.
So
100% warranted by this old guy being like, you guys playing calling something the Colosseum for one, but like mucking around to all.
And the Colosseum had obviously the garage door shut. It was always shut because it was enclosed in the Colosseum of couches, and then the open air space just pointed directly at his house.
Yeah.
Like he was sort of back right.
Yeah. Copped it all.
He copped it all.
Yeah. There's a lot of nights that I was also not a part of directly above it. My room was like directly above it. And I was just, Tom, after like a game, would just bring the boys back, like Dom, all the lads, and I'll just be so filthy having a scaffold on the Monday morning, just seething, just in bed, texting Tom, just like, shut the fuck up. It's like the music gets turned up a little bit louder.
Oh man, it's true. Yeah, well, that was really the reckless stage where you just had no idea about consequences and ramifications and how other people
no idea
cared. Like you just did whatever you wanted to all the time. And if Dust did text me, that's the thing, it was like, oh, get over it. Like we're gonna turn the music up, or we're gonna have a bit of fun with him, rather than like, you know what, you're a self-interested person.
Selling me short on every internet bill by $3.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I've done something similar. I hear your side of the story too. No,
it's so funny. Just to piss me off, like him and Finn just like would giggle every time I'd pay the internet bill, and it's like $99 bill. So it's like, all right, boys, $33 each, chilled. And it's just they just purposely transfer me $30 just to piss me off a little. Oh, I'm scaffolding, man. I'm making like $600 a week, and I'm like, oh, it's funny the first few times that it sort of keeps going on throughout the year, and I'm like, bro, that's like 2 Subways.
It's like 4 standard deals.
So you've mentioned a couple of times. So draft didn't work out the way you had planned. So you get into scaffolding. You got to find a job.
Yeah. So. What was it 2014 when it like sort of first hit me? I'm like, I need to fucking sort my shit out, because it got into like the new year. Draft happens in like October,
November,
and I hadn't gotten a job since then. I was still living in Perth, and I remember Dad just giving me a pretty stern talking to, like, because I still needed to pay off the car, and he's just like, mate, like sort your shit out now. That car's coming back to Albany and I'm using it. And I'm like, oh fuck, all right. So got my shit together, text one of our mates, Toby Anderson, to see if there was any jobs gone around at Westside Scaffolding, and they took me in and worked away. I think you did a shift there, didn't you?
I'd worked for one day. Yeah, honestly.
It would have been the most half-assed fucking slowest
spell, man.
No, I'm enjoying Dust. It's set a tone. I really enjoy it.
No. So I was doing surface cleaning, which again, like, I didn't love, but we used to have it pretty easy. You know, you'd like spray. You get priority ones. So if anything was like phallic symbols or hate speech or anything, you have to go there straight away. First priority from the government, clean it off.
Yep.
And it could be a massive big spray painting on a building, or it could be just like a dick and balls on the back of a toilet door at Mirrabooka High. And most of it was the latter. So you just cruise around, like spray a few things off, wipe it, like you're just a cleaner. And then the other part was like surface cleaning. So you'd pressure hose bricks, and if there was graffiti, put marker move on it and blast it all off on the train line. But it was pretty easy stuff. And in the Colts year, I sort of said, hey, I want to get some more money too, and I want to go, I want to go traveling, I want to go do stuff, got uni soon. And I went and worked for a day at Westside Scaffolding. Actually, I think it was 2 days.
And you were already there.
I didn't work with him.
Yeah.
But,
it was before you were there, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was before he was there. So he was still being silly and hadn't sorted his shit out, just like hadn't quite grown up yet. But I was like hustling 2 jobs, working that hard. And anyway, I remember vividly getting home on my second day. We'd been like out to Clarkson, then to 2J, then to fucking like deep south, then like everywhere, and worked so hard. And I remember kicking off my my work boots, my Tims, at like 4 o'clock before 4:30 Claremont Colts training, and just being like, mate, I am exhausted. Like I'm physically exhausted. There's no way I can train. Like I was just so rat shit for training that I was like, that job's not for me. So I always had mad respect for you punching that scaffolding out and playing for Claremont for what, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, it's 2014, 15 and 16. So 3 years sort of in the resis, and then in and out of the league team for the first 2 years, and then cemented my spot up forward with a bit of polish, obviously, in 2016. But yeah, doing that. And you know what? It kept me honest. Like I remember Luke telling me, because I was living with my brother, how grumpy I was for those first 3 months, like getting used to working full time and like working hard, and then going to training, and I was just a grump. But it probably snapped me out of that mindset of like, being like just everything's going to happen like eventually. So yeah, I'm pretty grateful for it in a weird way. Yeah.
And I feel like we can't talk about Abbott Street without mentioning our other buddy, Finn Stumpy Smith.
Finn Stumpy Smith.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this?
He's just one of the great men.
Yeah.
Who is our sort of Norwegian/international friend from Hale. And
scaffolding with me at the time too.
Yeah, scaffolding with Das. Yeah. We were pumping Easy Mac in like plastic containers in the microwave. I don't know what kind of damage we did to ourselves.
Just
there.
body full of microplastic.
Yeah,
the amount of leftover containers that ended up getting tossed like weekly, just because there's like leftover spag bowl that's been sitting there for 4 or 5 weeks. It's got mold growing out of it.
Right.
That's every chef, it's bad.
It's just like, this goes in the bin instead of...
Do you remember Finn's big 1 kilo tub of hummus?
Yeah.
And we used to go in there with Sakatars or Jats and just like hum into it and just steal it. And Finn would get home and you just hear like, whoa, fuck, boys. Like, and we'd honestly eat like half a kilo of hummus, and he'd just be that flat about it. And it was just so much fun, man.
Yeah.
Should we go there?
Yeah, I think we
Abbott Street.
Yeah, Abbott Street.
Sure.
A track we spoke about in the break earlier was and one that has an artist that is featured routinely throughout PTA. Schoolboy Q. This is Studio.